Some names are familiar, others will be by the end of the season. Today from Norman, Oklahoma, we get an inside look at the 2014 Oklahoma football team. It's the Red-White Spring Football Game coming to you from Norman. Hello again, everybody. Along with Dave Lapham, I'm Ron Thulin. Dave, the Sooners ended 2013 on a 4-game win streak, including that exciting win over Alabama in the Sugar Bowl. But coaches were very quick to point out to us this week that was last year.
Absolutely. Bob Stoops' message is, let's build on that. That football team last year did not win the Big 12 championship. That's the first goal every year for the Sooners. After that, everything takes care of itself. This is where you develop football players in the spring. This is where you develop depth as well. Who's going to step up and make plays? Some answers will be determined today.
Well, coming into this spring football season, Bob Stoops and the coaching staff, they had definite ideas of what areas they needed improvement and what players needed to improve.
Well, one guy that they really know what his role is going to be is Trevor Knight. This is his football team after the way he performed in the Sugar Bowl. He's a quick twitch, explosive athlete that's learning and maturing with every single snap. He used to play quarterback, now a tight end. He sees tight end through quarterback's eyes. Blake Bell. You know, he knows where to be, and he knows how to get there. He's going to be a weapon in the red zone because of his size, length, and strength. And running back position. What are they going to do there? Keith Ford, downhill, violent runner, who's got an angry approach to every carry. Alex Ross, a big man with track speed, will lower his pads, and he will absolutely thump you. There's no question about that. Who is Knight going to throw the football to? Sterling Shepard will not be playing today. He's the unquestioned go-to guy. But K.J. Young, this is a big day for him. He's had an excellent spring. Big, strong hands, a complete wide receiver. He's going to play in the slot as well as outside. Gino Grissom, maybe the most versatile football player on this team, has played tight end, defensive end. Now the biggest jack linebacker in captivity, 6'4", 265. He can stuff the run. He can rush the passer. He can also drop back into coverage and play in space. And with that said, on the back end, who's going to step up at safety? Who's going to step up at the other corner? Front seven may be one of the more dominant in the country. The back end, let's see who's going to make plays today.
Maybe April, but he's pumped up already. No question about it. We got a lot planned today, including Bob Stoops will be mic'd throughout practice. You will get the inside skinny from him. On the other side of the break, we'll get the Red-White game underway from Norman. Your business could save hundreds and even thousands in fuel costs with our live GPS tracking service. Visit usfleettracking.com. US Fleet Tracking, anything that moves, anywhere. And we welcome you back inside of Memorial Stadium, and we want to have to talk about the scoring. They've simplified it this year. Now, Toby Rowland in the pregame show said it gets confusing. Bottom line is it's red versus white. Whatever quarterback jersey, the color of his numbers, they get points. Is that pretty simple, Dave?
Very simple. The quarterbacks are in the blue. You can't hit them. You got to take care of them. But the number that they're wearing, that's the team that they're trying to score points for.
Trevor Knight will put it up on the first play of the game. He goes deep to the outside, and it is knocked away. Quentin Hayes doing a nice job from that strong safety spot, and he's one of the players, Dave, that the coaches were telling us over the last 3 days has to step up. Anybody in that safety position?
Well, he showed us that his biggest talent is coverage. They want a little more impact out of him, a little more suddenness in terms of turnovers.
Second down and 10. Ford is in the backfield joining Knight. And Knight puts it up again. Tipped, and as it picks off, incomplete. So Trevor Knight starts out 0 for 2. Jordan Evans doing a nice job getting his hand on it.
Yeah, Jordan Evans gets nice drop from his linebacker position. He's playing at the linebacker spot and drops, gets the right hand up and knocks it down with that big right mucker. And now it's 3rd and long. This is great for the defense. It's not where you want to be offensively. That's just a good job playing your responsibilities. Nice drop from the line of scrimmage by Evans.
You can see the camera on top of Trevor Knight's head. They use that a lot in coaching to see where his eyes are. Now, this has been a problem for Oklahoma last year. 3rd and long.
Right.
On 3rd and 10, Knight goes back, throws it, tipped again, incomplete. 3 plays, 3 passes for Knight. Dominique Alexander was on the coverage, and he'll have to take it out.
Get 2 passes broken up by linebackers in that sequence. That's a good sign. A lot of guys won't be playing today, and we do want to mention Cortez Johnson is added to this list at defensive back. But most of these guys, almost all of these injuries, Ron, if this were Red River battle week against Texas, they'd all be playing. Very, very minor in some cases.
Well, Jed Barnett's punt is fielded. There will not be any returns on punts as we continue the down but not out.
And we also want to mention that we will see Charles Tapper today. He will take some snaps. He's got a little bit of an issue with back spasms, and he's going to try to get something done today.
So, Trevor Knight 0 for 3 throwing the football to start things off. Maybe they should take that camera off, Dave. Maybe it has a little bit too much weight. And here comes Cody Thomas, the redshirt freshman out of Colleyville, Texas. Also, of course, an outfielder for the baseball team. He comes in. Joining him in the backfield, David Smith. Jordan Smallwood wide to the left. And the handoff to Smith, and he bangs over the right side, gets up to about the 28-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 3.
Well, they went 2 tight ends offensively. 2 tight ends, as you can see, that's when you're going to mash it and run the football a little bit. And Oklahoma had their best running season in Bob Stoops' tenure. I mean, they really got after it on the ground, and almost 224 yards per game.
And they want to continue that, and this offensive group will keep it on the ground, getting up to the 30-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 5 situation, and just kind of picking up on that running back you were talking about, Dave. Not only do they want to continue what they did last year, rushing the football where they averaged almost 224 a game, but they are looking for running backs that can make people miss.
Oh, absolutely, and they're looking for running backs that will block and blitz, pick up, and catch the football. They're looking for complete running backs, and if they get that running game going, hard play action pass can make some big chunk plays down the field.
On 3rd down and 5, pass by Thomas, a little underthrown, intended for Smith. So neither offense getting things going early on here in the game.
Yeah, defensively, Mike Stoops has to be very excited. He's got back-to-back 3-and-outs going on the defensive side of things. And honestly, his football team, they made a huge transition going to a 3-4 defense during the course of the football season last year. It fit their personnel groupings a little bit better, and they were a little bit thin in the defensive line, and Mike Stoops brilliantly converted them to that 3-4 scheme and paid huge dividends, a big reason that they were one of the hottest teams in the country, that 4-game winning streak.
Well, Jack Steed getting a little action punting, the redshirt freshman out of Katy, Texas. And here's some of the numbers. And these were impressive when we were breaking it down. Just the improvement from 2012 to 2013 as far as the offense is concerned.
And look at quarterback runs of 10 yards or more. That's improvement by 8. Yeah, that's impressive. 24 runs overall of better than a 1st down per carry. That's getting it done. That's, making people miss, like you said, Ron. A good running back will always make that first guy miss and have his eyes focused on the second guy because he knows he's going to make that first one miss.
Now the second possession for the red team. Ross, right side, bangs his way up over the 26 or the 36 up to the 38-yard line. You talk about Alex Ross, the sophomore out of Jenks, Oklahoma. He was a big-time recruit when he came to OU, and he's getting consistency, and that's what the coaches are really looking for this year.
Well, look at the size of him, and he ran a 10.8 100 meters, 21.97 200 meters. That's track speed in a big physical body.
And you hit it on the head. He runs violently. Knight play action, block knocked away again. Good job by the defensive back. That time, Zach Sanchez, the sophomore out of Keller, Texas. He's an emerging star.
Well, Zach Sanchez, the freshman All-American, defensive newcomer of the year in the Big 12, defensive freshman of the year in the Big 12 last season. He's the guy. He's the lockdown guy at one cornerback position. Who is going to be his complementary corner on the other side? It's going to be determined here in spring and in fall ball.
And another 3rd down situation for Trevor Knight. 3rd down and about 6. In motion, 4-man rush. Knight steps up, throws on the run, and it's going to be complete up over the 45 to the 46-yard line. And we get our first look at Dimitri Flowers, the freshman out of San Antonio, Texas.
Well, they compare him to Trey Miller. A huge compliment. This kid can line up at H-back, at fullback, at tight end. Very, very impressive football player, very intelligent football player.
They'll play action, and they're going to touch Trevor Knight back at the 38-yard line.
He's tapped by Tapper.
That counts as a sack.
Exactly. They're not going to hit the quarterback, and little misdirection, and Tapper separates from the blocking up front and sacks the quarterback. And that's the hardest that Knight's going to get hit. We saw Knight's ability out of pocket, though.
Right.
When he gets out of pocket, his ability to throw on the run and throw on the run accurately separates him.
Loss of 7 on the play, 2nd and 17. Here comes a little bit of pressure. Knight reads it, throws, and popped is K.J. Young.
Man.
Jordan Evans laid the wood to him.
He sure did, and that's an interception. Separated K.J. Young from the football, and Oklahoma picks off the deflected pass. That's just great team defense. Hit, pressure, or I should say fumble, balls in the air. Possession is to the defense. That's just great hustle, staying after the football and coming up with it. And that's a big man's dream. Jordan Wade pursuing the football. When you run to the football, good things are going to happen for you. And he comes up with a deflected pass.
Jordan Wade, one of those guys that's a consistent player on that defensive line, comes up with the loose ball. So once again, the white team takes over, and they've got great field position down at the 31-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you, Mike Stoops' defense is playing tremendous against the pass. They really are. They're getting after it in every way they possibly can. The coverage has been sticky in the secondary, and there's been decent pressure. And like we said in the open, Mike Stoops is not going to blitz all that much, particularly on 3rd and long. Maybe 1st and 2nd down a little bit. This is an evaluation time. Can the offensive lineman pass block? Can the defensive lineman pass rush?
Well, Daniel Brooks now in the backfield joining Cody Thomas. Penalty flag is thrown. Thomas rolling. He'll run, and he will step out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. Devontae Bond was chasing him from behind.
They're high on Bond. He's a junior college player. They think he's another candidate to play jack linebacker. And had an illegal formation on Oklahoma offensively. That's going to cost them 5 yards. And those are the kind of penalties Bob Stoops doesn't like, no matter if it's spring game or not, those pre-snap penalties. And how about Bob Stoops? Here's a guy that is as good as there is in the country, and we're going to catch up with him during the course of the action here in the spring game. He's wired and live for us, and anxious to hear his comments.
Left side, good hole up to the 30, inside the 45, inside the 30, 10 inside the 5-yard line is Daniel Brooks. Well, Bob Stoops, so far your offenses, neither one had really been clicking until that play. How about that one?
Yeah, it was a good play. Daniel Brooks, really young running back, made a couple guys miss him, and he's got tremendous speed, so he made a nice play.
Now here we are in the red zone, and this is where football games a lot of times are won and lost. Can you punch it in, or can the defense make that field goal happen?
A little mix up in the backfield. They won't get anything. Last year, the Sooners 87% of the red zone, 53% on touchdowns. Well, Coach, when you get down this close, this is a must situation. You've got to get touchdowns and not field goals.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Too many field goals can beat you, definitely. And they had a little zone read on there. Quarterback wanted to pull it, but you could tell they were a little bit off on their read, and he running back just kept it, squeezed it on.
All right, Bob, we'll be checking with you throughout the game. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, guys.
Let's take another look at when we have a chance to take a look at Brooks' run, and like Coach was talking about, the key is make the first guy miss right there. Nice cut, and then he's off to the races. I mean, he can go from 0 to 60 pretty darn quickly. Great running backs not only make people miss, but then accelerate.
From the 1-yard line, high snap, throw into the flat, touchdown, Cody Thomas on the touchdown pass. Nice job hitting Taylor McNamara, who had only 1 reception all of last season. So Cody Thomas, the redshirt freshman out of Colleyville, gets his team on the scoreboard first.
McNamara does a nice job of getting separation on his route. Look at the separation that he did get. That's his strength as the tight end. He's not the big, muscular, end-of-the-line blocker, but he runs good routes, and he's got soft hands.
Honeycutt for the extra point. And it is good. One more look at that touchdown pass. Thomas hooking up with McNamara.
Again, little play-action pass trying to freeze linebackers, and and then get some separation, and McNamara delivered. Good ball, too. Sometimes when your receiver's that open, you try to aim it a little bit too much. Just cut it loose and let it happen. That's what happened there.
And the numbers on McNamara, you go look at this Oklahoma team that finished 6th in the nation after the 2013 season. Since the start of 2000, and this is unbelievable, no team has more wins than Oklahoma, or a better winning percentage. And also dating back to 2000, OU is the only team that has had 12 seasons with 10 or more wins. And it's mainly because of the coaching staff headed up by Bob Stoops, of course, the all-time winningest coach in Oklahoma history.
And let me ask Coach Stoops about this. Coach, consistency and continuity. In your 16 years, the same president, David Bourne, same athletic director, Joe Castiglione. You got a lot of people on your staff that have been with you for 16 years. 7 coaches either played with you at Iowa or played for you with you at Iowa, played for you at Oklahoma. That's all big, isn't it?
Well, there's a lot of consistency, and you're right. It does begin with our leadership, our president, our athletic director. Great leaders, great, men, and they've helped us continue to build and establish this program. And in recruiting and things like that, you have to continue to build facilities. And we just built a $75 million dorm for athletics and students, and that makes a big difference.
Well, we just saw Dimitri Flowers on the reception, and now the Red offense getting going with Keith Ford on the run, scampering over the left side. Penalty flag is thrown back at the 39-yard line.
I could tell you the dorm that you're talking about, Coach, Headington Hall, game changer. Man, if I were an athlete, I'd love to live in a palace like that and be able to walk to work right across the street to come to the stadium. That dog will hunt right there.
Yeah, no question. It's a fabulous facility, and I think we'll be able to get a little tour of it here a little bit later in you guys' program.
Absolutely. All right, Bob, we'll let you go for a few more minutes. Once again, appreciate it.
Personal foul there.
Penalty was on the defense. It'll move the ball.
Hey, everybody back here.
So that's what you like to see is one team scores, will the other team respond? And that's the case. A big play to set up a touchdown, and then the other team comes out and makes a big play to kick themselves out of bad field position. Now they find themselves in midfield.
Trying to look for some consistency. We don't expect to see Trevor Knight a whole lot in this game. We will see Baker Mayfield, even though he's probably not going to, or he's not going to play this game. Left side, nice hold, up over the 40, down to the 38-yard line.
I'm real impressed with what the offensive line does here. They really stay on their blocks, finish and sustain blocks, and it's Flowers again getting a good block on the perimeter. Flowers just kind of sorts it out. He gets his head on the right people as he worked his way up inside. Big number 36 in that red jersey. This kid, he's good without the ball in his hands as much as he is with it in his hands.
Rutkowski, Flowers joining Trevor Knight in the backfield. Knight with a little read, second man through, kicks up about 2 yards on a first down play. Ahmad Thomas coming up from that strong safety spot. Thomas is not only going to play strong safety, he'll also be at free safety. We've seen him move around a lot over the last 2 years.
Absolutely, and he's a very physical guy, excellent tackler, and he's looking for him to make some plays, increase that productivity at that free safety spot.
On second down, 5 on the line, movement.
Well, Stryker came up to the line of scrimmage, and somebody flinched up front. And Stryker can cause that for you. Number 19 in that white jersey. This guy is a hybrid. He can do everything. He can rush the passer. He can drop into coverage. He's just an instinctive, fine football player that sometimes he'll decide that he might see something. You got to let guys like that, make plays with those instincts, and usually guys like that guess right, a la Troy Polamalu.
There you go. Well, that makes it now second down and 13 to go inside of 5:40 to play here in the opening quarter. Once again, 4 quarters we'll be playing. Knight looks to put it up, looks over the middle, then flares it out to the right side, get back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe even a couple more. KJ Young, redshirt freshman out of Paris, California. Again, Zach Sanchez right there.
Yeah, he's good coverage. He's got about a 6 or 7 yard cushion, and he just plants and drives on the route. That ball was in the air for a while, showing Knight's arm strength, threw it from the left hash mark to the right sideline, and he put it on a rope.
Well, Trevor is throwing with the win on this possession. Another third down situation. They need 7 for the first. Trailing 7-0 to the white team. 3 wide receivers to the left, and Knight looks left, fires left, almost picked off again. And it should have been.
Looked like Hayes.
Yeah, Quentin Hayes got the hand on it.
Yep, he was in the area, and that's the kind of thing he's probably thinking to himself, you know what, I got to make that play. If I get my hands on that football, I got to catch that football. I mean, that's a play that defensively you don't want to slip between your hands like that. And Hayes, you can see that as he pounds his head into the turf, a little bit disgusted that he didn't finalize that play. He got himself in great position, just didn't finish it.
Well, this will be about a 53-yard attempt. Ball is placed at the 43-yard line. Ball is down. Kick has plenty of distance. And it is good. Honeycutt with a 53-yarder. If this was the regular season, that would be his career long. We've got a timeout from the red-white game. Red gets on the scoreboard, but they trail white 7-3.
To get that trophy up, and the confetti was flying as Oklahoma takes care of Alabama by the grace of Sooner magic.
For stepping up and doing their job when they had to, and for us to come in here and for me to play like I did.
Hey! Whoa! Easy go!
That was one of the all-time greats, and Coach Stoops and the team telling us that they wanted a team picture. You know, they weren't going to do anything until they got the team picture, but of course they almost knocked down the set. And of course, Big Game Bob, and I like Mike Stoops after that Sugar Bowl. He goes, I guess Big Game Bob is back.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Bob.
Look at the numbers. This is impressive, Dan.
It really is. I mean, what more can you ask? It's almost put a stamp on a 10-win plus season every single year under Bob Stoops. That's tough to do year after year after year. And it all starts with you got to get players.
You know, Dave, you and I were talking coming over here, and we were talking the fact that you and I have known Bob since he's been here since day one, and I think both of us made the comment he hasn't changed. As far as personality, he is the same guy.
He's real.
He's real.
Yep. I mean, what Bob Stoops, there's no pretenses. Bob Stoops is Bob Stoops. He is real.
Pride of Youngstown, Ohio, up to the 30-yard line as we go inside of 4.5 to play here in the opening quarter. David Smith on the carry out of Midlothian, Illinois.
And Coach, if we got you, let me ask you about your recruiting process, because, you know, one thing that we see out of your football team year after year is chemistry. It's something. It's the intangible. You know when you have it. You know when you don't. And when you have it, you don't want to lose it. And you don't have any jerk factor on this football team. And that's obviously by intent. You recruit some high-quality character guys, don't you? I don't think we have Coach Wright yet.
Yeah, I don't think we have him
We'll get back to him on that.
You know, and he does things for the players, too, as they try the left side. And they're going to lose a couple of yards on a first down play. He does so many things with the players, including having a pool party during two-a-days this past season. Said, you know, we just decided, hey, let's go over to my house. We're going to get some barbecue. We're going to have a little pool time. And Bob, Dave Lapham was just talking about how you recruited outstanding character kids here at Oklahoma.
Well, we sure try to, and I think across the country, all of us coaches do. Character definitely matters, you know, so we're always looking for that. And it's true, some players we have shied away from if we didn't feel it was right. Regardless of, you know, the type or how good of players they are, you got to be able to fit into a team, and so anyway, we're sure doing our best to do that.
I'll tell you, Coach, when some of your best players are impeccably human beings, 1 + 1 can equal 3. You know, you get that synergy, and I've been on teams that's the case, and I've been on teams where the best player's not that kind of a guy, and 1 + 1 can equal 1, you know, not even 2. And you got 1 + 1 equals 3 going on, sir.
Well, for the most part, yeah, our better players, guys like Trevor Knight, or, you know, on and on, you know, Sterling Shepard, and these guys are high character guys that are some of our hardest workers. So it definitely affects the other players.
All right, Coach, appreciate the time again. I think he's going to like coaching from the middle of the field.
Yeah, really.
Maybe something he wants to do during the regular season. That was Baker Mayfield, the transfer out of Texas Tech. Once again, Baker not only have to sit out this year, but he also loses a year of eligibility because of Big 12 rules. But it was very obvious the start of spring that he has played at this level before.
Absolutely. Got some All-American mention as a freshman, All-American. And, yeah, he's taken some snaps. And there's no question when you come from high school football to the collegiate level, particularly the level of the Big 12, the speed of the game is definitely something. The speed of the game affected Trevor Knight. I mean, Trevor had, at the start of his career last year, the speed of the game sped him up with his footwork and mechanics and got him out of sorts a little bit. And then when he got hurt and sat a little bit and then came back, the game slowed down for him and his play just accelerated.
Another penalty on the play, so that'll make it 1st down and 15. Ball backed up to the 45-yard line. Mayfield hands it over the left side. Mayfield threw for over 2,300 yards last season, 12 touchdowns. Also not a bad little runner, too. Had 190 yards rushing. 6'2", 215 out of Austin, Oklahoma. And you talk to the players, and they say he's had a great spring.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a little bit of swagger to him because he's hung a few skins on the wall.
Yeah,
having played already at the collegiate level. Yeah.
2nd down and 10, 1.5 to play here in the opening quarter. Mayfield looks, flares it out to the right side. Pass is complete to Smith. He puts a little thump inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line. I tell you, Smith put the 5'10", 204 hit right on the defender.
He really did. Lost track of him a little bit in coverage coming out of the backfield. He was all by his lonesome and all kinds of green in front of him. And then once he got down the football field, he just lowered the shoulder pad and tried to get every centimeter that he could. He lowered his pads into Darius Owens and thumped it up pretty good.
Well, Smith's got something to prove. He redshirted in 2012, didn't play last season. His first football in 2 years. High snap, Mayfield pulls it down, looks, throws on the run, completes inside the 15 down to the 10. Isaiah Ajelana with his first catch, the sophomore out of Mount Holly, New Jersey.
Ajelana did a nice job. He's going to, at the tight end position, going to run a little shallow cross from the left side of the formation, and Mayfield does a good job of finding him, puts it on the back shoulder, and Ajelana just needs to get in the weight room a little bit and continue to get stronger. Older brother, Ben Ajelana, drafted in the 2nd round by the Indianapolis Colts and got some playing time with the Jets as well, so it's a football family.
Got some pedigree over in that family, don't they?
Yes, sir.
Handoff straight up the middle. Let's go back to Ajelana because you and I were standing in practice on Thursday, and obviously you also do the Cincinnati Bengals, so you have an eye for talent and the size of guys. You looked at Ajelana, and one of the things you said was great body.
Yeah, oh, he belongs. There's no question. I mean, he passes the eyeball test. When he's walking in the lobby, you know he's a football player somewhere. We're going to play 4 12-minute quarters and 15 minutes at the half, and we're closing in on the end of quarter number 1 here.
Final 4 seconds. Let's see if they even get the play off. Mayfield. Well, they're going to blow the whistle right at 0. So that'll be the end of quarter number 1. And it was a good one so far. The white leading the red. 10-3. We'll be back with quarter number 2 from Memorial Stadium in Norman, Oklahoma, right after this.
I'm Trevor Knight. Hope you're enjoying the game today. Stick around at halftime where I'll get to show you around this beautiful place, Headington Hall, where us athletes live, eat, and hang out.
All right, it's some of the dining facility in there, an outstanding place, and we had dinner up there last night. Pretty good. By the way, the OU Spring Game brought to you by U.S. Fleet Tracking, anything that moves, anywhere. So we'll be giving you an inside look, a lot of inside looks coming up. And for more on all of that, here's the third member of our broadcast team, Chad McKee. Chad, how you doing, buddy?
Terrific, guys. Standing by with the guy everybody will recognize, and that's Blake Bell, the quarterback turned tight end. How difficult is it for you to sit here and watch your teammates?
You know, it's actually fun, watching the guys get better out there. I know I can't make it and be out there, but I'm going to cheer them on and hope for the best for them.
How is the recuperation from the little bit of a knee injury going for you?
It's going good. Day-by-day process, just icing and stem and doing rehab in there. So it's going good and no rush. I'm trying to get it better.
What has the conversion to tight end been like for you since the Sugar Bowl and all the talks about you switching positions?
It's been good. It's been a day-by-day process, like I said, with everything. But yeah, I've been out there. Coaches helped me a lot. You know, putting my hand on the ground and making blocks and going up to the second level is about the toughest thing. But you know, the route running and seeing defenses. Hey, you know, I did a lot of that at quarterback, so that comes a little easy.
Yeah, Taylor McNamara, one of your tight end buddies, just caught a touchdown pass that we missed.
Yeah, hey, he did a great job. Ran a nice little route, and quarterback put it on him.
All right, well, Blake, good luck getting healthy, and we hope that everything, the transition goes smoothly. What's been the most difficult part about the adjustment to tight end?
I would say just putting my hand down. You know, usually in the back of the shotgun or getting another snap, you're not used to getting down there in the trenches with these guys. So I would say that's the most difficult part, but it's coming along day by day.
All right, we're missing a good game. We'll let you get back to it.
Appreciate it.
Blake Bell with us, guys. We send it back up to you.
All right, Chad, we'll be checking with you. You know, you and I were talking to Blake on Thursday. We said, how was the transition? He said, it's perfect. He loves it. They were talking about it back in December about him making the move.
Yeah, I mean, he's the one that brought it up, and the athleticism that this guy has, and he's working against Sanchez, who's a pretty good cover guy, and watch him get the contested catch here, one-handed tip to himself. This is where he's going to be so valuable in the red zone, contested catches, because he's long, he's strong, he's got big hands, and he understands routes. He understands where the quarterback wants to try to put the football. You know, he sees this position through the quarterback's eyes, and that's invaluable. I think quarterbacks are going to really, really like him and have him as kind of a cushion to get the ball to.
Well, Trevor Knight comes back in. They're trailing 14-3, looks to put it up, steps up in the pocket, and he is going to be touched as he gets over the 30-yard line. Nice job by Gino Grissom. We were talking about Gino playing that jack position, the senior out of Hutchinson, Kansas. He's a monster.
He is. You know, Gino, he worked against, last year he worked against offensive tackles, so now he's going to be working against tight ends a lot. He'll be pressuring the quarterback from the edge. And at 6'5", 265 pounds, he's still athletic enough to drop into space and cover people. So he's a very, very gifted guy. He's got a tremendous body on him.
And you were mentioning at the top of the show, he's played defensive end. He's played a little tight end. They go to the running game, the left side, scampering up over the 30 to about the 33-yard line is Alex Ross.
You know, the thing that I'm seeing out of the Oklahoma defense, and it's typical of a Bob Stoops and Mike Stoops coached unit, they run to the ball every single play.
Right.
You know, and we saw a tip ball interception, Jordan Wade hustling from nose tackle, running the ball, gets a deflected ball that his linebacker teammate Jordan Evans tipped. I mean, that's what Oklahoma defense is all about.
I tell you what, right now we are seeing number 15 for Oklahoma, Zach Sanchez, just the sophomore out of Keller, Texas, which is just west of the Dallas area. He is becoming a player on every play so far this afternoon.
Well, there's that term shutdown corner, you know, and sometimes it's used a little bit too loosely, but he's trying to prove that, hey, you're not going to be able to attack my side of the football field. You're going to have to go to the other side. And he's back returning this punt, and it'll just be fair caught, but he's a candidate. You know, that's an area they're going to have to find as a return guy.
Absolutely. Now, we talked about Bob Stoops having a real family atmosphere here as far as the coaches. Also, as far as the team, I don't know if I could do this without laughing. We watched it yesterday. At Halloween, they decided to dress up, and, of course, the man in the middle is supposed to be one of the Stoops
Mark
brothers.
Stoops of Kentucky.
Mark Stoops of Kentucky, yeah. And they coached. And there's, I think that's Jerry Schmidt. There's Josh Heupel, we believe.
Yep.
We were trying to pick out who these guys were, but they dressed up like Halloween characters. I think my favorite may be Tim Kish or Bobby Jack Wright. I think it's coming up here in just a second. There you go.
Goldilocks
says Bobby Jack. Yeah, that was. I still can't figure out who he is. I think we said he was Ric Flair.
Yeah, exactly. But football's got to be fun, and Coach Stoops understands that. There's Bobby, the real Bobby Jack, not Ric Flair. But football's got to be fun, and because if not, it can be drudgery.
Well, Daniel Brooks had the nice run on that opening quarter. This time he stood up on the play by Aaron Franklin, the redshirt senior out of Marshall, Texas. One of the veterans on this defense. And there's a good look at Brooks. Didn't play in 2013, redshirted in 2012. Here's a kid, though, that in high school ran a 10.600, was considered a 4-star recruit coming out of high school.
I tell you, we're not seeing some incoming freshmen. Joe Mixon, we met him earlier today, Ron, at the running back position, 5-star recruit coming in as a true freshman. He'll get in the mix right away.
Pass is complete. Smallwood gets up over the, or down to the 45-yard line. They'll mark it at about the 46-yard line.
And this is another wide receiver that's had a good spring. Smallwood's been nicked up during the course of his career. He got healthy right before the Sugar Bowl, and during Sugar Bowl preparations, everybody's like, geez, this is the Smallwood that we thought, was going to be this type of player, and he's just got to stay healthy. He can definitely contribute. He's got some skills.
How he goes in the slot, he has a chance to be the stud. 1st and 10 from about the 42-yard line. Like trying to get something going. Little play action, steps up in the pocket, big hole, up to the 35, and they touch him at about the 33-yard line.
Well, good decision right there.
Or Justin Hansen, I should say, on the scamper. So he picks up 9 on the play.
And it all starts up front when you have this kind of success, and basically try to freeze the outside people. But good. Everybody not only got to their blocks, put the helmet on the right person, but sustain their blocks. That's the key, is finishing blocks. And everybody up front, it starts with your feet and ends with your hands.
And now Brooks right behind Hansen, the true freshman out of Edmond, Oklahoma, and early enrollee, and he throws his first pass into the flat. Pass is going to be complete down to the 23-yard line. Austin Bennett, he had a catch last season for 11 yards. Got one here in the spring game. And that's a big question mark, because we've already seen Hansen, we've already seen Thomas. Of course, Mayfield can't play. Who's going to be that important backup?
Right.
Hansen scampers, because, you look at the 5 starts Trevor Knight had. 2 of the 5 starts, he got injured in those games.
Yeah, exactly. And that his style of play is conducive to that. Hopefully, he's learned by that. Will protect himself a little bit better. But that's the thing about him. Trevor Knight hasn't played a whole lot of snaps, and you look at that Sugar Bowl. I mean, the numbers are just staggering. He had completed about 50% during the course of the season. He's about 3 out of every 4 passes in that game, 348 yards, 4 touchdowns, interception. Played the best game of his career and the biggest game of his life.
Found 3rd down and short. They bang it on the inside. That'll be good enough for a first down. Ball goes down to the 19-yard line.
So my point is, with Trevor Knight, there is room for growth. You saw the kind of game that he's capable of. He was unbelievably accurate, on point, great decision making, and he can grow from that game. And it's I mean, the sky's the limit. There's no ceiling on his potential.
4 touchdown passes, an OU Bowl record in the Sugar Bowl, tied a Sugar Bowl mark, threw for 348 yards. Fresh set of downs, ball's on the 20-yard line. Over the middle, pass incomplete. And boy, I tell you, the defense is laying the wood on people today. Thaddeus Legrone coming up with a big hit, and Connor Knight could not hold on to it.
Yeah, Connor Knight's ribs going to be a little bit sore as he reaches up for this pass. He just gets stuck right in the rib cage. It's all legal. There's nothing illegal about it. The only thing is, you hate to do it to teammates, but hey, football's football.
That's right.
And Connor Knight lit up, obviously, the fraternal twin of Trevor Knight right there.
There's a good look at Thaddeus. Again, Hansen goes upstairs, goes deep, touchdown. Nice toss to Austin Bennett.
Well, that was a pretty ball right there, Ron. I mean, it was a tight window for him to drop that pass into, and he did. And he was rewarded on the back end by Bennett making a good play on it.
We looked at Hansen on practice on Thursday, and one of the things that stood out, I think, for both of us, a powerful arm. Fundamentally, he's got some work to do.
Right.
But this young man's got an incredible amount of talent.
Yeah, he does. He stuck that ball right on the money, and you think young quarterbacks have to get their legs into their throwing motion.
Eric Hossack with the extra point, and it is good. 7:23 left to play in quarter number 2 here in the red-white scrimmage, and White leading 14-10.
We're here in the Barry Switzer Center looking at some of the Big 12 trophies and some of the Heisman trophies. This is where we have all of our Big 12 trophies. Hopefully, we're looking to get another one for the 2014 season. This is 2000 National Championship trophy. Here's the 85 trophy that we won, National Championship. My dad actually helped win that championship that year. This is where we keep all 5 of our Heisman Trophy winners' trophies. Yeah, that's where we hold them on 3rd floor. Oklahoma, we pride ourselves on the history. Great players come through here, so we try to keep that in mind whenever we're playing. Play for the guys that were here in the past.
That's a beautiful facility. Get a chance to visit that. And, you know, you look at the tradition. Of course, Shepherd's Nut Sterling's not playing today. You know, a little dinged up a little bit. But if, as Dave mentioned, top of the show, if they were playing Texas or somebody like that, he would be playing. Now the red team goes back to work. Derek Woods with a reception.
Out of pocket, rolling to his left. Right-handed quarterback snaps those shoulders square and delivers a dart. Nice play.
And we're talking about all the players from Oklahoma that are playing in the National Football League and the impact of what they've had on this program. And Chad's standing by with one of those right now. Chad.
That's right, Ron. We got Trent Williams of the Washington Redskins with us. What's it like for you to come back on a day like this?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I love it. I love it. You know, you got so many great memories in this stadium, and you know, the coaches still treat me like family, so I love coming back around.
What was spring like for you when you were playing here at OU?
I mean, obviously it was a grind, you know, but I loved every second of it, man. We're competing out here with some of your best friends, and you know, just for bragging rights around the dorm rooms and such. But you know, spring, I love springtime.
Speaking of bragging rights, what was it like for you around the Redskins locker room and around your teammates after the Sooners beat Alabama in the Sugar Bowl?
Oh, I felt like I won the Sugar Bowl. I mean, you know, I walked around with my chest held high. I wore my Sooners shirt for a couple of days, and you know, we got a few Alabama guys, so I was able to stick it to them.
I'm sure we got some Redskins/Sooners fans watching. Got the draft coming up here shortly. What's your team looking for?
I'll say looking for some Sooners. I mean, that's my first thought. But you know, I mean, I guess we got a couple critical pieces that we can probably shore up in the draft. I mean, we'll see.
Trent, we appreciate it. Get back over there with Big Phil Lodeholt. We may get run over here. That's the last thing the Redskins want, is for the big fella to get hit here,
You'll
guys.
really endear yourself.
Yeah.
You know, how about 343 NFL draft selections for Oklahoma, 65 under Bob Stoops. I tell you, that is just an impressive number.
It is. I mean, you know, Bob does a great job of taking the high school athlete, developing them at the college level, and letting them make a living at the National Football League level. And when you're a recruit, that's what you're looking for. And
exactly.
If you're a recruit walking through the history and tradition of all those trophies, Oklahoma, I mean, man, you got to be in awe.
On 2nd and 5, not much doing. Coach Stoops, of course, is wired up, and he has been talking to us throughout the game. Coach, when you see one of your former players come back and somebody that's had an impact on this program, you also have to feel pretty proud of what he has done, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Very proud of Trent, and Phil Lodeholt's also here with them, a big 6'9", 345-pound tackle blocking for Adrian Peterson. So we love all our players, and I love my players that are currently here. They had to get a chance to be around these guys and see them and size yourself up with them too.
On the pass, looking plenty of time, rolling to the right on the scamper. And Bob, you were telling us over the last couple of days that you really have great guys on your team and how the players have handled the offseason. And this is one of the best teams from a personality standpoint you've coached. Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, it really has. It all starts in the winter. You know how guys react to the tough grind of building speed and strength through the winter time. And our strength coach, Jerry Schmidt, felt like this is the best winter we've had in 16 years. So it's a group that works hard. They've very few issues or problems, doing a great job going to class, not having problems off the field.
How about a little razzle-dazzle in the spring game?
I'll tell you, my first thought with Blake Bell at the tight end position, Coach, you're going to have a little gadget gimmick built in every time you got him in the huddle. You got two quarterbacks basically in the huddle, and that's going to make some defensive coordinators lose a little bit of sleep.
Yeah, no doubt. He won't forget how to throw by next year, I guarantee you.
Right, exactly. There's no question. I mean, that's now you got to start thinking about what ifs, and nobody wants those what ifs. Let me ask you, Coach, this is the first year that one of four teams or four teams going to be in the playoffs, and I know you're hoping and working to be one of those four teams. And sorry, I know you want to get over to check out the injury, the significance of that injury. What's your thoughts on the playoffs?
Well, I'm excited about it. I think it's exciting. It's a good twist. I think it's real positive that the bowl games are still a part of it. That needs to continue to happen. And so anyway, it's a good direction I think we're going.
All right, Bob, we'll let you get back to the game. Geno Grissom is the player who is down, and you know, no matter what coach we talked to over the last 3 days we've been here, every one of them said the number one thing is get out of this game without anybody getting injured.
Yeah, and that's one you definitely don't want to see injured. Geno Grissom is a heck of a player, and he's saying now he's upset. Basically, I want to get off the field under my own power. It doesn't look to be anything too severe, which is good news. But Geno Grissom just it's a chop block by a running back. He's not going to take Geno Grissom up high, and he takes his legs out from under him. And again, you don't want to do it to a teammate, but it's football and it's legal. It's in the rules, and hopefully Geno suffers nothing more than a bruise there. And by the way he's operating, getting off the football field, I think he's going to be fine.
Keith Ford's the one who got him, and the numbers on Geno Grissom. We're expecting to see an All-American type year from that young man this season. So it brings up the score 14-10. White still on top of red, closing in on 4 minutes left to play in the second quarter. We'll have about a 15-minute halftime, and we invite you to stay tuned for that. We've got a lot of very special things coming your way. 3rd down and 2 for the red team.
Big 3rd down and short.
Trevor Knight's first series did not go well for the red team. Trying to get something going. Hand off again. And Jordan Evans stepping up from that middle linebacker spot to make the stop.
Jordan Evans, I'll tell you, there's a little tradition right there with this football player. His dad played defensive tackle, was a 3-time All-Big 8 defensive tackle, 26 in the white jersey. Watch him read and hit the hole. And boy, penetration, tackle for loss, tremendous hit. Kind of hid behind his defensive lineman, and lead blocker couldn't find him, couldn't sort it out, and put a helmet on Evans. And Evans made a huge monster play. He had the deflection on the interception as well. He's flashed big time.
Now Honeycutt's going to try to field goal. He's already got a 53-yarder. This one's going to be marked at the 37, so it'll be a 47-yard attempt into the wind, showing the big leg again.
There's a Groza candidate right there. No question about that.
Well, support OU student athletes by joining the Sooner Club. And all you have to do is call 866-SOONER-CLUB or by joining online at thesoonerclub.com. Now, we talked about the pool party early on, about how Bob invited all the players over to his house, have a little barbecue, little hoops maybe, and a little basketball. Can you imagine they probably had to refill the pool after these guys got in.
There's a cannonball right there. Empty the pool. I'll tell you what, they never had that kind of humanity in the pool at the same time. The tide rose at that pool, boy. That was high tide.
I think Mrs. Stoops is up for sainthood. I have 2 of my friends come over, and it's like, God, when are these guys going to leave? Cody Thomas in at quarterback. Pass is complete up over the 30 to the 33-yard line. Complete to Taylor McNamara, who got shook up earlier, or I should say got a couple of touchdowns early in this game.
Let me ask Coach Stoops one thing that. Okay, well, we'll catch up with Coach in the second half. I got a couple other questions for him on the offensive passing attack today. It's been extraordinary out of pocket run. There's been a lot of passes completed. All the quarterbacks really showing a good job of showing accuracy on the move.
That's something they really wanted to work on. We talked about the play action game as they stick to the run game. Right side, that'll be good enough for a first down. Up to about the 40-yard line as the clock goes inside of 3 minutes. Reuben Hunter on the stop. And the clock is running. Outstanding crowd on hand today. We weren't sure how many were going to be here. I bet you it's over 30,000.
Oh, yeah, I think we're pushing 40.
Yeah.
This thing's got to be half full, easily.
And the running game, working on that. Once again, Oklahoma having to replace a lot of running yardage from last season. They rushed for 19 touchdowns. And look at the crowd, and it's an absolutely perfect day for football.
Yeah, it is. And, there's high expectations now for the Oklahoma Sooners finishing number 6 in the country, beating Alabama like they did in the Sugar Bowl. People are, they're going to come out in the top 5, probably top 3 in preseason polls.
Thomas's pass is incomplete. I'll tell you how the expectations are. We're walking out of the hotel today, and as soon as we see the guy sees us, walks up and starts talking national championship.
That's possible. It's not a possibility; it's a probability. He said it's gonna happen, and that's that's what takes place. But this program thrives on that, though. There's no doubt.
No, absolutely.
They set the standard. They set the bar high themselves.
Thomas rolls, and they're going to whistle him as he is touched at about the 38-yard line. Matt Romer doing a nice job. I tell you, look at number 92, old Matt. He powerful young man, 6 foot 278 out of Port Arthur, Texas,
and he can move a little bit. And the reason you have to kind of create and extend a play is down the football field, nowhere to go. I'll tell you, I think when Mike Stoops slaps on this tape, for the most part, he's going to be pretty happy with the coverage that he got on the back end.
And once again, they have to kick it away. No returns today. Don't want to get anybody injured. Ball hits at about the 12. And it'll go into the end zone. Well, that's going to be the last play of the opening half, as they're going to let the final 49 seconds go down. And it was a pretty good half if you're looking for defensive stars. Eric Sanchez did a very nice job. Good job by Baker Mayfield throwing it. Mike Stoops has to be happy. And as we head to halftime, the White leading the Red 14-13. When we come back, we'll give you an inside look of Headington Hall from the spring game here in Norman, Oklahoma.